morning, everybody. My name is Cassandra. Welcome to my channel. I'm so sorry about the lighting. 3 of my light bulbs went out in my kitchen this morning, and I don't do heights, so I'm not going to go up there. We have really tall ceilings to put in new light bulbs. It's just what it is going to be for today. That being said, it is right before 8 a.m. We are going to do some homemade medicines, apothecary type things today. Truth be told, I only have all the ingredients to do one right now, and then in a couple hours I'm going to go do a Walmart pickup. Thank the Lord for Walmart pickup, and we'll come home and finish these things off. I'm getting recipes today, some of them from the Forgotten Home Apothecary books by Nicole Apollon. I hope I'm saying that right. Really great. Absolutely love this book. I got it from my husband during Prime Day. It was a couple dollars off during Prime Day. So we have been going through and just kind of picking some things out of here. And we will be doing more things out of the sections of this book when it comes to like balms and lotions and things over the course of this winter. I want to play around with some of these as well. Today we're going to be making some fire cider. I'm going to be following this recipe loosely. I'm going to be adding in some more things as well. So we're going to do fire cider. We're also going to do garlic and honey, which I think a lot of people know about. And then we're also going to be doing onion and honey, all for a little bit different things. Fire cider is basically nature's amoxicillin. Really love that. Everyone in my household, fun fact, is actually allergic to amoxicillin, like penicillins in general. We all get really bad rashes from it, so we don't take it. We get really bad reactions to it. All of us a little bit different. I get anaphylactic shock, so that's really fun. So we obviously don't take those things. So having these on hand are gonna be really great. I'm really excited about this, trying to get away from pharmaceuticals as much as we possibly can, and all of these things are going to help us do that. What I have in front of me is a little bit of 100% raw, good to go honey. Ingredients are just straight organic honey. I would prefer to have some local honey. I do have a little bit up in my cabinets here, but definitely not enough for what I want to do today. So we're going to be using this for some of it. That being said, the reason I would prefer local honey is because it's going to have those local pollens, those local allergies in it the bees get from being in the grass and the flowers and pollen and all of those things. That way it's local to you, right? So they're picking up all of those things, you're ingesting the honey, and it's supposed to help with your own allergies, your own immune system, things like that, because they're picking up things that are naturally in your local environment. So that's why I would prefer some local honey. I might use some of it today because, like I said, I have little bits and pieces, but not a lot. So the thing we're going to do right away this morning is I have a couple largemouth mason jars. I want to do that so it's easy to pick things out of it, like the garlic and things. I also have some of these twist tops from Ball, and that's what I'm going to be topping these with for very easy access, just on and off. And then we'll kind of stick all this stuff in our medicine cabinet, let it ferment, let it do its thing, and over the next couple of weeks it should be good to go. Hopefully it'll be ready by the time cold and flu season really kicks off here. We already have some sore throats. We had to turn the furnace on for the first time. I'm sure you guys know how that is. You turn the furnace on, those first couple days your throat is just so sore because the air is so dry. So it's time to get these things rocking and rolling. We're gonna drink our coffee here. What I'm gonna do is go grab a couple onions. My onions are ones we grew here on the homestead, but store-bought onions are just fine. We're gonna slice up those onions, pack them in a jar, and we are gonna layer them a little bit of onion, a little bit of honey, a little bit of onion, a little bit of honey, until our jar is as full as you want it to be. Really let that seep for a while. And then if I remember correctly, you can strain it if you prefer. If not, you can just leave it in the jar after a couple of weeks. And it's gonna make this like syrup, and you can just kind of dip your spoon down into the jar, get your honey sauce that it's gonna kind of ferment for us, and you can take that, and it's good for sore throats and congestion and all of those things. So that's what we're gonna start with today, because that's the stuff I have, and then we'll come back in a little bit and finish off our honey and garlic and our fire cider. All these things should be really easy to throw together, really kind of a passive project today, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have 3 of some of my bigger onions that I grew this year. My onions didn't do very well, but I saved some of my bigger ones for this project. And I am just going to slice these. I'm going to save my skins and whatnot for bone broth that we're going to be doing because these are homegrown onions. I want to get the most bang out of my buck with these. So I'm just going to put my scraps into a freezer Ziploc bag in my freezer with all of my other kitchen scraps, and we will use those at a later date. We're going to put some in our jar here, and I'm also going to put some in my larger jar here for my fire cider. I might have to run my honey under some hot water. It was in the basement, so it's very congealed right now. Okay, a little bit of honey, and you know what? I'm gonna put some honey in my fire cider right away too, just so I don't forget. Okay, and now we're gonna do another layer of onion. A little bit more honey. A little bit more onion. And you kind of get the gist here. Pretty simple, pretty easy, but a really easy step to get us that much closer to a little bit of self-sufficiency, but also just being able to take something way more natural than a pharmaceutical, and it's going to save us hopefully a doctor's visit and co-pays or whatever it is that we have to do to be able to go to the doctor here in America. Okay, a little bit more honey, more onion, honey, okay, I think that's good for me, and I'm gonna put a decent amount of honey on top. This is good to go, but look at how simple and easy that was. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of this onion that I have here in my fire cider. Very wonderful. I am happy with that. I'm gonna get a bag for these onion scraps. Put a little bit more honey in here because I can. We're gonna put a top on this as well, maybe. And I will meet you guys back in the kitchen in a little bit when we're gonna finish this off with the rest of our ingredients and do our honey and garlic mixture. Okay, so I just looked at my cabinets. I have 2 things of local honey, both from the same farm, just different years. You can tell the difference of the honey. This one we got last year, this one we got earlier this year. And I'm gonna do a scoop of each of these local honeys into my fire cider really quick and into this onion mixture. I think it's really important. I have a little bit, I was gonna try to save these for like honey sandwiches and things, but I can always get more honey. So I don't know why I didn't just add it. We're gonna give them a good scoop, and then that way I can just clear out this jar too. And then maybe what I'll do, because there's a little bit of honey still in this jar, I might just put some of my garlic in here, or maybe I'll do this jar here, and that way there's still a little bit of local honey in there. I think that's better than nothing. So there, each of those got a good tablespoon or so of a local honey. I just think it's important. So there we go. I think that's great. I feel much happier with that. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this jar yet, so I'm just going to set it to the side, but this honey is still super good, super loose and fresh. So what I might end up doing is just, okay, let's pour my honey in here. And then this is the jar I'm gonna pack my garlic in. And then I'll just top the rest of this jar off with some of that Sam's Club honey. And we'll just mix the two. I think that's a good happy medium, especially because local honey can be expensive. This jar was $25, which I mean still isn't that bad for a quart, but it can help be a little bit more cost effective if you need it to be. You know, just do a small jar of local honey and then mix it up, fill in the difference with a Sam's Club honey or something. But definitely make sure it's it's real honey. It's not like, you know, a fake honey. Just make sure that the ingredients are just pure honey. Perfect. That way I can still use my lid that I want to use here. That'll be great. That'll be a good base. We'll fill the rest of this with our garlic, and I'm happy with that. Okay, now I'm ready. And I still have a little bit of honey on the bottom of this jar, so we're gonna save that too. Okay, lovely. I will catch back up with you guys in a little bit. Okay, we're back. We are going to go ahead. I have 2 lemons, 2 oranges. I got a gift for myself, and that was a bunch of pre-peeled garlic. Is this the absolute best thing? No, absolutely not. But it's still what I'm gonna use because I don't mind being in the kitchen, but one thing I really dislike doing is peeling garlic. It's a big reason why I don't grow garlic, or I'm not in a huge rush to grow my own garlic because I just hate peeling it. I would rather use a good old jarlic. Okay. We are going to slice our oranges and our lemons. And these are gonna go right into our fire cider. I might do one orange and 1 lemon. I'm gonna start with 1 of each, but, hi baby. Hi lovey. Your pumpkin. That's a nice pumpkin. Yeah, I like your pumpkin. I'm gonna start with 1 of each, and I might go back and add the other. We're gonna see, but we're gonna put all of the ingredients in our jar here, and then we're gonna top it off with apple cider vinegar. We're gonna throw in a whole bag of this garlic into our fire cider. Ooh, definitely smells like garlic. Lovely. I also have some ginger here. And we are going to peel this ginger. I reread my recipe this morning in the Home Apothecary book here. And I know we're gonna make this antiviral herbal honey. This is on page 198. It does call for 1 small piece of fresh ginger. I didn't realize that before I had reread this recipe. I think the ginger is kind of optional. I've seen people just do the fermented garlic and honey, but because I have the ginger, we might as well use it, right? So I'm gonna peel this ginger. We're gonna put some of this into our fire cider, and I'm also gonna put a couple chunks in with our garlic here. So I'm gonna put most of this in our fire cider. And then we'll get a couple pieces in this jar as well. I like, oh, you put your dinosaurs in there? Very nice, baby, very nice. Now, I have a ton of herbs. I have 2 things of fresh oregano. I have a thing of basil. And I have a thing of thyme. I've seen people add in all different types of herbs. I really wanted to make sure I was getting lots of oregano in there because oregano is very good when it comes to all of this. So I got double the oregano and some basil. So ideally I would have loved to get this going when I already had all like my fresh basil and stuff. You can definitely put dried in here too, dried herbs or whatever. But like I said, we're just doing with what we've got today. So this is actually gonna be ready to go. We're just gonna top this off with apple cider vinegar and put the top on this and let this sit. So for the rest of our garlic, ginger, and honey, I'm gonna open up these bags and dump in our garlic in here. We'll see how much we can fit in this jar. Okay, it looks like just one thing of garlic here, and then we're just gonna fill the rest of this jar up with honey, and we're gonna let this sit and do its thing, and it'll be ready to go for cold and flu season, hopefully. And then just in a matter of a couple of minutes today with a couple of cheap ingredients. You found more pumpkins? We have lots of great natural herbal things. Oh, you can see this made of, here, this has been sitting just for a little bit and you can see how syrupy that is. Wow, that's awesome. I did not realize it worked quite that quickly. Can you see that? How syrupy this is? Compared to like this, it's a way thicker. That's really cool. So I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna go find my apple cider vinegar because I'm not sure if it's up here or if it's downstairs on the storage shelf. I think I'm gonna slice this orange and put it in there because I have it, so might as well. And there's some room on the top of this jar. I might save that lemon. We're much more apt to use a fresh lemon in something than we are just to like eat an orange like this. So I'll shove that in there over the top of our herbs. Okay, I'm gonna go find my apple cider vinegar, start getting my mess cleaned up here, and we're gonna be ready to go for today. Now, just like that, we have all three things we set out to make today. Very excited about these, but these are just gonna go up into my medicine cabinet. I'm gonna let these sit and kind of do their thing for a little bit, and then these will be ready for use hopefully come cold and flu season. These take about the fire cider takes about 6 weeks. This one seems very instant here, and this one is ready to go after just a couple days. So these should be all good to go by the time cold and flu season really starts here, and I'm super pumped about that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, making some easy things for your medicine cabinet for the winter and cold and flu season, all of the things. I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a fantastic day, and I will catch you guys in another one. Bye.